Hey guys, what's up? This is Drac, and today I'll be reviewing Killzone 3. Killzone 3 is the highly anticipated sequel to the PlayStation 3 hit Killzone 2. The game picks up right after the ending of Killzone 2. Rico has just killed Vasari, and the ISA forces are trying to make their escape from Helghan. Things don't go too well for the ISA forces, and they are left on Helghan for months while trying to lie low and avoid confrontation with the Helghast forces. The plot for Killzone 3 seems like an improvement when compared to the plot of Killzone 2. While the ISA are struggling for survival, you've got two new antagonists, Johann Stahl and Admiral Orlok. Stahl is a supplier of weapons and arms for the Helghast army, and Admiral Orlok is obviously an iron-fisted military man hell-bent on crushing the ISA. These two guys are constantly at each other's throats. Each one is trying to convince the board of Helghan leaders that he should be the one to take up Vasari's throne and become the new autarch. The inclusion of these two characters shows what goes on behind the closed doors of the Helghan political world. Of course, these two guys aren't the only characters you'll be seeing in Killzone 3. Taking on the role of Sev, once again, you'll be partnering up with Rico for most of the game, whom, by the way, is far less annoying than he was in Killzone 2. Captain Narville is also returning, but his southern accent is not. You'll be introduced to a couple of less than memorable characters while playing as Sev, like Jammer, who is basically a carbon copy of Rico in female form. The game's story takes you to a lot of varied places on the Helghast homeworld. One moment you'll be in an intense firefight taking cover behind pieces of debris, and the next you'll be in an alien jungle avoiding detection while taking out enemies silently. There's a lot of memorable set pieces in Killzone 3. The game is far more large-scale than Killzone 2. You'll be fighting mechanical tiger bots, drop ships, and Helghast capture soldiers that constantly flank you. The game has amazing firefights that really put you in the boots of a soldier. The entire experience just feels real. It feels organic. There's also a boss fight near the end of the game that will definitely knock your socks off. There are, however, certain parts of the game that felt a bit rushed to me. There are certain portions where you're either in a vehicle or a mounted gun of some sort. In these segments, you're basically just mowing down everything that moves. I didn't play the campaign with the move. I used the DualShock 3. I understand that Guerrilla Games was trying to implement move segments, and I'm pretty sure they're a blast with move. But I'd like a little less rail shooter in like Killzone, if you know what I mean. And what's with the inclusion of Jammer? She's just about as relevant to the story as Natko's mom jokes in Killzone 2. Hey, that's another thing. What happened to Natko? Well, he's nowhere to be found in the single-player campaign. If you decide to play split-screen co-op with a buddy, however, he appears as player 2. Why would you take out a character that was present in Killzone 2 and add a bland female character that no one even cares about? The story is pretty good. I wouldn't write home about it or anything, but it's decent. It gets the job done, and it was enjoyable. The ending is a little abrupt, but then again, so was the ending in Killzone 2. The controls are different this time around. I remember when Killzone 2 released, a lot of people were complaining about the slight input lag in the aiming controls. Well, Guerrilla Games has heard your pleas for a different aiming feel. The weapons still have a decent sense of weight, but the input lag is no longer existent. So we still have a gun that weighs a decent amount, and 99.9% of the input lag is gone. What does that leave us with? Controls that feel just right! Yes! When you fire an assault rifle, you can feel it. The guns have adequate recoil, and they feel really realistic. The reload animations also look fantastic. The way your weapon bobs up and down and around when you move makes all the difference in creating an immersive first-person shooter. I can't stress enough the fact that the guns in this game just feel great. I wouldn't tweak a thing about them. The cover system for the single-player campaign works out nicely most of the time. Sometimes you'll be awkwardly trying to exit cover while being shot in the face. Sometimes the cover system doesn't even provide cover. Enemies can sometimes still make their shots connect even when you're hiding behind that giant piece of cement. Which is nice, I guess. It makes you feel as if nowhere is safe. You constantly need to move and locate better vantage points in pieces of cover. The visuals in this game, like Killzone 2, are stunning. Everything from the snow particles to the dense Helghan jungle looks quite awesome. There's detail everywhere. For example, While making your way through a building, you might find a glass exhibit of live spiders. Crack the glass and watch as the spiders crawl free of their prison. Don't get too close though, they will attack you. The game balances light and dark very nicely, and the color palette is much more varied than the one in Killzone 2. The textures of metal look like real metal, and the plants look like real plants. The guns even have amazing visuals. They look heavy, and they look real. The facial animations are good to an extent, but nowhere near the likes of Uncharted though. Character animations are nice and realistic. You'll occasionally see ISA troopers firing behind cover and ducking for their lives in an intense firefight. When you get a headshot, you'll know it. The sound and visual cue of a Hellgas's head popping like a large grape is always satisfying. Speaking of blood, the game also has intense close combat kills known as brutal melees. These brutal melees are so ridiculously enjoyable, I often find myself going into enemy fire just so I can cleave the eye socket of that one Hig that's been tossing grenades at me. You'll shove your thumbs into their eyes, you'll slit their throats with a knife, you'll snap necks, and all kinds of gory goodness. These brutal melees are a welcomed addition to Killzone's previously clunky melee mechanics. The multiplayer mode is what you're paying for in this game. The action is class-based like Battlefield and Team Fortress. You have your engineer who can build turrets and repair ammo boxes, your infiltrator who can disguise himself as a member of the enemy team and hack objectives faster than any other class, your marksman who specializes in cloak kills and radar scrambling, your medic who can revive his fallen teammates and summon a miniature airbot that offers a small boost to your offense, and lastly, the tactician who can capture spawns for his team and summon large airbots to support and defend areas. The classes are well balanced, and I've never had a complaint with any of the skills or perks that the game offers. You'll be able to play 3 different modes in multiplayer mode. Guerrilla Warfare is your standard deathmatch. Warzone pits the 2 teams against each other with multiple rotating objectives, such as capture the speaker, assassination, destroy the objective, defend the objective, and capture and hold. Warzone is an intense mode that makes you feel like you're participating in an actual war. There's also a new mode called Operations. In Operations, one team assumes the role of the attacking ISA forces, the other team is the defending Hellgas forces. Basically, the ISA must complete 3 objectives throughout the map to win the round. It is the Hellgas objective to stop the ISA from advancing further in the map. What's unique about Operations mode is that there are cutscenes throughout the gameplay, and the actual players in the match are the ones in these cutscenes. If you scored the best on the defending Hellgas team, you get to rifle butt the best players on the ISA team at the end of the match. If you scored the best on the attacking ISA team, you get to be the guy that sets the last bomb and makes an epic escape as the best players on the Hellgas team are destroyed in the explosion. These cinematics are incredibly enjoyable to watch. You feel accomplishment as you hold your head above the losing team. The only downside is that there are only 3 Operations compatible maps to choose from. Guerrilla really should have included more maps that are Operations compatible, because the game mode is by far my favorite to play out of the 3. Leveling up is done much better this time around in Killzone 3. As you rank up, you'll be awarded unlock points. With these unlock points, you'll be able to further upgrade the class of your choosing. Each class has 3 primary weapons, 3 secondary weapons, and 2 skill trees consisting of 3 slots each. As you upgrade your classes with unlock points, you'll start to see new gameplay upgrades that were previously unavailable. For example, the engineer's repair skill tree starts out pretty slowly. The first slot allows you to repair things like ammo boxes and turrets. The second slot allows you to improve the repair speed. The third slot further improves the repair speed and allows you to hack enemy turrets and transfer ownership over to you. The game is great. A good campaign and an amazing multiplayer mode make Killzone 3 a must-have for any FPS fan that owns a PlayStation 3. I can't wait to see what Guerrilla Games does next. This has been Drac, and I hope you've enjoyed this review. Peace out.